Мы продолжаем серию наших видеороликов о кодах пространства, и сегодня мы переходим к следующему коду. А какой же следующий код пространства?
When we are talking of creating space or enclosing space with architecture, then we have talked of form, we have talked of proportion. But there's a third code also which we need to look at. And the third code of space is orientation. Can you orient the building anyway? Or is there a certain code which the ancients followed? And in order to understand this, there are two aspects to it. One is the cardinal directions, east, west, north, south, and the other is the diagonal direction, which are at an angle to each other, 45 degrees. So northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest. So these orientations, cardinal directions or diagonal directions, are a very important part of understanding of the structure of space. A building has to be oriented to the cardinal directions. The cardinal directions relates to what we call static energy. As the building doesn't move, it is static. And therefore, east, west, north, south orientation is ideal for that kind of static energy. But static energy doesn't mean no energy. Static energy is like a potential. It is like a battery which has a power inside it. It has a potential inside it. And then when you connect the wires, the energy flows. So similarly, when you're creating a building, you are creating a powerhouse of energy. And that energy has to be in harmony with the body. So there are two parts to this harmony. One is the form, the proportion, and the orientation, which is the cardinal direction, which deals with static energy. The other is the diagonal direction, which deals with the dynamic energy. So how are you going to use that space? What will be the functions? Where will you put what functions? So there is a harmony of these functions that you will have in that space. And that harmony of function of space is important because that is also connected to the body. And therefore, orientation plays a very important part as the third code of space.
А каким образом происходит влияние ориентации на наше тело? Ну, то есть вот есть эта взаимосвязь, а что происходит?
There is a whole concept of energy axis that we have to understand in the human body. The ancient Indian system, if we go by that, is called the nadi. And there's a very interesting description in the ancient text of Ayurveda, in which they say that there are three types of nadis. One they call the solar nadi, Ida. One they call the lunar nadi, they call it Pingala. And the third is the earth nadi, which they call it Sushumna. Now, Sushumna is active 24 hours. The other two are active sunrise to sunset time, which is Ida, and then moonrise to moonset time, that is Pingala. Now, the moon timing changes every day, and that is based on the phases of the moon and the movement of the moon around the earth and the movement of the earth around the sun. So these create their own combinations of timings. Now at those times, these energies become active and these axes become active. Now what the ancients found is that there is a natural system of harmony between this energy axis and its alignment in the body with the orientation. So there is a particular orientation when you face east or north, it aligns the front or the back of your body during the daytime, during the sun time. But when you face east or south at moon time, it aligns the front and back of the body separately. So each orientation has a different impact on the alignment of your body system. So therefore, we need to understand fully this relationship of orientation and the body, which is not only related to the building, but the beauty of it is that if the building is aligned with the orientation correctly, then it is through the building that our energy axes are aligned. So that is where there's a very interesting aspect of architecture which comes into it. is how the ancients were so particular that the orientation of the building has to be with the exact rising of the sun on the 21st of June or the 21st of December. And that's how they got the perfect alignment of east, west, north, south.